Hey Aquarius, it's Empress Rose here. Welcome to your reading. For whatever reason, you guys just end up being first all the time. I don't know why that is. Not all the time, but I usually go by where the moon is at when I start doing the readings for the week. And it's often in Aquarius, which is my moon sign, so maybe that's why. Anyway, we're gonna welcome to your reading. I'm Empress Rose, and these are general readings, so we take what works, we leave what doesn't, as with everything in life. And if I don't catch your wavelength or storyline here, check your other major placements. We're starting off with an oracle deck here of Moonology, mix of Moonology and Work Your Light for an intuitive vibe, and then we'll head over to the Tarot of Mystical Moments for a more traditional tarot reading. All right. Anything else? Anything else for Aquarius? This is quite a silent little deck right here right now. Anything else for Aquarius? Oh, spoke too soon. All right. Oh, that's a lot. That's not too much. Feast or famine, I guess. Oh my gosh. Okay. Wow, it's kind of all over the map here. There's some push and pull going on here. We do have a Council of Light, Divine Orchestration, helpers in the subtle realms. So I love divine orchestration. It always turns out better than I could have imagined. It always reminds me that we're exactly where we need to be, even if we don't feel it right now, and that there are things going on behind the scenes and ways in which life is weaving itself together for our benefit. So then we have the Age of Light. You've been training for this for a lifetime. So some sort of, I feel like this always connotates some sort of expected situation, something that you've been looking forward to or looking to or expecting and preparing for, something that you already are prepared for. I don't think this is something that's going to take you by surprise. If it does take you by surprise, it's only because the timing was not what you were expecting. But overall, it might take you by surprise in that it's finally happening or something. But for the most part, you've been training for this. You know what's coming. You have an idea of what's going on here, and you're ready for it. You're ready for whatever happens. But you've been waiting on possibly divine timing for this to move forward. Divine timing. Speaking of divine timing, when this Moonology deck says the word time, I pay attention. Time to take action. There's no more card here that that connotates that it is time. Now is time. Move forward. Take action. So that's you initiating something. That's you moving forward with something new, a new project, a new thing. That's you. Maybe not even a new thing, but you taking action. Maybe you've started something already, but procrastinated for a while. And so take action, new moon in Aries, moving forward, taking action, and you're ready for it. So this isn't like, some sort of like suddenly being plunged, like learn how to swim, kid, throw you in the water. That's not what's going on here. You have some sort of background, some sort of training. You were maybe just waiting for the right time. And this is very clearly saying you're ready. The time is now. Your commitment is being tested. So it's not going to be easy. You might splash down in that water there and it's not going to be an easy time. There might be some waves. There might be some wind. These clouds are coming in here. They're going to obscure the moon. So you're not going to necessarily see where this is going, even though the intention is set, the activity is started. You're not necessarily it's not going to be easy. It's not going to be perfect. It's not going to be maybe the way you envisioned it, but it is going to be in perfect timing, in the way that it's meant to unfold. Conclusions are within reach. So yeah, something is happening. It's time to take action. Maybe it's time to end something, but this is more to me of a leveling up. To me, surprisingly, this feels like an 1111 card, an end of an era and a commitment to a new era. So the conclusion is within reach. So even though this looks scary, this looks like bars coming down, it's locking the past. It's like, yep, that's locked. It's like going through locks, and like through a little canal or something, and once that lock comes down, now it's time to fill up or drain the next section, right? Of the, you know, the seagoing locks where you take your boat through things and you transition through something. The things have to close off behind you in order for you to rise up to the next level, where you're going or whatever, but it's got to close, it's got to shut down. And this feels like part of a process, like a commitment to a process. So we're shutting down something, or we're ending, that part is over. The part where, you know, we interact like this is over. So an engagement card would be a milestone. So that's what I'm seeing here, sort of a locks type milestone where we're shutting something off from the past, so that we can rise up where we're at right now and move on to the future. So conclusions are in reach. You're done with some part of the locks and it's time for you to move forward. You're ready for it though. The level in the chamber that you're in has reached the appropriate level, and it's just time for you to go on to the next level and leave this thing, conclude something, end something, leave that level behind, and then going to the next one. Boundaries, where do you need to establish better boundaries? So there may be people pulling at your energy. Boundaries are so incredibly important. We are each here with a sacred mission, probably one that defies logic and defies words. Don't try to put your mission into words. It'll be weird. So it could... It's not necessary. But we're here with a certain amount of energy, a certain amount of time. And the more we allow things that aren't appropriate for our mission or for us, for who we are, to pull at us, to deplete our energy, things that we want to give. For many of us, giving feels so good that we forget that we get to give to ourselves too, and we get depleted by giving to other people. So this is having better boundaries, not letting other people tell you what your mission is, not letting other people tell you what you need to be doing. So just making sure that you're protecting your energy, you're protecting yourself, you're saying no where you need to say no, so that you can enable yourself to say yes to where you want to say yes, to go down this journey. So you may be closing off some situation that has had poor boundaries, that has had unclear boundaries or something like that. You may be concluding a situation with that's been depleting for you, as you start something new. And it's going to be a bit of a rocky start, but you're ready for it anyway, even if it is a bit rocky. All right. All right, Aquarius. This is your past, your present, your inner landscape. What's at issue? Your environment, your to-do list, your possible outcome. Still really loving my new deck here. It's so beautiful. Okay. Oh, yeah. That's what I was thinking about that. So, in our recent past, we have 9 of Pentacles. This is having accomplished something, having achieved something, business-like maybe, because Pentacles, and this is I want to say, I should get a new metaphor because this one doesn't look like the Widow Clicquot, but I do love that book, that biography of the woman who began the champagne. We would not be drinking champagne if it were not for her. And the way she sort of conquered the world at that time as a businesswoman. It was a very fascinating story. I highly recommend the biography. Anyway, 9 of Pentacles. You've achieved something. You've accomplished something. You've been sort of some sort of financial goal, work goal, something like that. You achieved it, and you've reaped the benefits from it. It's benefited you. You've maybe, I want to see, you've talked about it a bit. You've been able to discuss it. There's an abundance here that you have worked for and earned. And it's taken a long time. There's been some slow going here. It's been very difficult at times. And at other times you reaped a beautiful harvest for your labors. So, but you've been hard at work, and you've been achieving things and accomplishing things. But it looks like it's not quite enough. You're not quite there yet. We have in your current situation the Eight of Cups. This is you going, yeah, I see this, but my intuition, this is a lovely place with lots of love and lots of wonderful abundance here. But my intuition is pulling me forward into something else. I see something else that I want. And it's not here. I'm not sure what it is, but it's not this. It's not, I don't have quite everything I want. I mean, we've got the Nine of Pentacles, so we've got an abundance. We've got a lot. We've got a lot, maybe even on our plate, a lot of work to do, a lot going on. We've accomplished a lot, but it's not feeling like enough. There's something that's pulling us forward that's like, there's more, and I'm going to keep going towards it. I'm going to pass through, even though this is a beautiful place, and I totally get why other people have settled down here. This one always thinks, I think it's interesting because the Eight of Cups is about love, is about emotion, and Welz-Stein clearly has couples here. But I think it's more, it's not just couples, but I think what it connotates is that resonance, that pairing off with something that resonates with you, that is sort of a bird of a feather, is heart of your heart. So that can be a career option, that can be friendships, that can be romantic relationships. So, but she really does pull in the romantic relationship. But I just want to say that it's not necessarily, you're just going to keep going on your path. Your path goes through this place, and this is lovely for a lot of other people. It's fine, but you're being called forward, and you can feel that. You can feel that this isn't my settled place. This isn't where I'm settling. So whether it's a relationship or career, this isn't where you're settling. And you know that. You know there's more ahead of you that you would like, even though you've accomplished quite a bit. And many people would say, is this not good enough? And you're saying, not to be snobby, but not for me. This isn't my paradise. I see that all of y'all have a paradise here, but this is not mine. And my heart is calling me forward towards something. So it's a moving on card. It's a moving forward with faith. This card tends to connotate to me that you have some idea of what you want. This isn't just moving on from a situation because you hate it. That's definitely not this card. And it's not leap of faith, sort of taking a leap. It's just like, you know what? I'm passing through this place, but I understand it's not the final place where I end up. This isn't the last. This isn't my final. I don't know. I haven't arrived. I haven't turned out yet. I haven't any of this. I'm just passing through here. I don't think anyone ever turns out. Like, you hear people talk about other people and they're like, oh, she turned out like, what the fuck? She's 40. How did she, sorry, my phone did a thing. How did she turn out, or how did he turn out at all? There's still like 25 more years till retirement at best. Like, there's a lot of time to do a lot of stuff. So, we don't refer to ourselves as having turned out, but we somehow feel free to refer to other people as having turned out. So, but this is I haven't turned out. Everybody knows this isn't where you're going. You're passing through here, and we're going here because it's a way to pass, because it's a land you pass through on the place your heart is calling you to. So in your current situation, or in your inner landscape, your hopes, your fears, you have the Hanged Man. And I love this card because it sits really well with this card for me, the Wheel of Fortune, because I always want to say, like, the zipper is stuck here. So this is your hopes. This is probably your fears about being stuck here in this situation. This isn't for you, but you may not be sure on how to move forward, on how to get this going. You may be worried about getting stuck here. Maybe you've been stuck someplace in the past and you don't want to get stuck again. You don't want to get trapped again. Did you guys get this last week? I can't remember. But this is about, being stuck. And I think it's a fear that you're having because it's in your hopes and fears and inner landscape. Being trapped here, or just not being able to move forward, nothing moving forward, knowing that you need to move forward, knowing that you want to move forward, but maybe worried that you're not getting that hit, that intuitive hit, that it's time to move forward, and getting worried that you're going to get stuck in a situation that's clearly not the end all and be all for you. But how do you move forward? So in your external landscape, we have the machinery of life, wheel of fortune. So when this gets jammed, this is like the gears of life might have been jammed here, and this zipper gets jammed, and this is stuff outside of your control. This could be coronavirus. This is just all the stuff in the world, the weather. Oh my goodness, we had a big windstorm. I lost my internet. The weather really had a lot more say with the way my week went than I did, with my schedule than I did. So this is about, you know, the cogs, the wheels of fortune turning. So good luck, bad luck, all those things that we don't control. We can control our attitude. We can control our preparation. We can be prepared for good luck and bad luck, but we don't get to control when the machinery of life actually dumps that good luck or bad luck into our lap, right? So this is sort of where the machinery, you're worried that the machinery of life is stuck and you're trapped here. So you might be, all the blood, of course, flows to your head, and then we're thinking. But the Hanged Man actually does provide an opportunity for us to think about how we got here, where we're going, what we want out of life, all sorts of things. It's a time of reflection and trying to figure out how to move forward. So I think you're a little bit worried about this situation. You know you want to move forward. You know you're not like at some sort of end-all be-all resting place with whatever part of your life we're talking about, but you're worried that you might get stuck here. And I think this could be your commitments being tested. Like, even if this isn't moving forward, do you still want what you want? You've trained for something. Are you still going to stick with it? Do you still have your eye on that? What if you get stuck here in this situation? Do you still have your eye on that prize? Can you still, this looks like a personal reading I did this week. So much so, it's really interesting. So, but it's saying it's time to take action. So you're clearly not going to be stuck for too long if you are. Two of Wands reversed is what's at issue here. You don't know how to get where you want to go. You might not even have a vision. You might not be able to see where you want to go. You might be able to see where you want to go, but have no idea. The Two of Wands is about, we're getting an intuitive hit here, and we're just starting to figure out where all the pieces need to go in order for us to move forward on it, in order for us to go forward. So it's got sort of to me, it's always like the Pentacles idea of like really earthly ideas and really practical plans, invading our intuition, invading our vision and our dream to go up here. So in the upright, it would be like having that Pentacles in the Two of Wands, where we're thinking like, okay, so how do I get to where I want to go? I've got some sort of insight. I've got some sort of intuition that I need to go forward. Where exactly, I'm not sure. I hope I'm not stuck here in limbo. And then this one could have come in and then upright, telling us like, okay, it's time to really think it through. But you may not be able to have a plan. I think you do have an idea of where you want to go. We're already on that Wands. You've gotten some sort of intuition that you need to move forward, but you can't see how, and you can't see in which way. There's not a practical plan here. And it's not easy. So if you're wanting to move forward, or wanting to move on from a job or a relationship or something like that, or way a relationship has been, right? If you want to move forward on that, you're having a hard time seeing how. It's just, there's a lack of practicality here. Let me turn off my heater before it gets going. There's a lack of practicality here, or an inability to see the practical ramifications of maybe how you're feeling right now about, I'm going to move forward, but how? I don't know. So in your external landscape, we have the Wheel of Fortune. So this could be good luck, bad luck, all those things that we're not in charge of. The machinery of life. And here it looks to me like we've got, we're looking backstage, the curtain opens, and there's some sort of, the machinery of life. What's going on behind the curtain, this divine orchestration here. So these cards look very similar to me as far as their vibe. No, they don't look similar at all. They feel similar to me. Helpers in the subtle realms, divine orchestration. What's going on around you is a lot of stuff that's totally out of your control. Could be the electricity, could be the internet access, could be the weather, could be coronavirus, could be all sorts of things. I mean, we're definitely in a time where there is a lot going on that we didn't have anything to do with. That's not we're not in charge of, and we're just kind of floating along here. But to me, this also has a sense of divine timing, right? Because all those things outside of our control are more about divine orchestration and helpers. So there's things in your environment. This is kind of an interesting card because it is like, it's just things, your luck is changing. Luck has changed, either good or bad. There's just things going on, and maybe you've prepared for something. This could be that thing coming in that you've prepared for, the luck, the thing outside your control changing. It could also just be having some bad luck and being like, well, I can't see my way forward because of all this shit going on in the rest of the world. I can't see how to move forward. I can't formulate a plan because everything's changing from day to day. The luck is topsy-turvy. Everything's a little bit difficult. So then your to-do list is this 10 of Wands. So you're carrying some sort of burden here that it's time for you to put down, right? And pick up your own burden. Oh, here we have boundaries. Boundaries. This is something that you're carrying, some sort of obligation, some sort of expectation, some sort of should. Some sort of should, somebody's should on you, and it's been heavy. You've carried it for a long time. This is what you want. You want something else, but you've got this whole load of shoulds on your back of, can you carry this for me? I can't carry this. Can you do this? And expectations, these can be expectations that society has put on you that you have. I mean, she could shrug this all off, right? You've accepted these expectations. You maybe learned them from a young age that you are expected to be this way. You're expected to do this. You're expected to be like this, and you're expected to be like that. And it's weighed you down. So this 10 of Wands is making better boundaries, I think, almost with whatever you've internalized from our culture, and also other people's expectations. This is just, again, other people's expectations pulling at you, telling you what to do. It's the same thing. So you're putting that down, you're creating better boundaries around yourself. There's something about this that's important to your path to move forward. Maybe it is being able to say, this isn't what I want, and being okay with that, and being okay with blowback from that. And being okay, maybe you don't want a 9-to-5 job. Maybe that's not very satisfying for you. And being okay with saying, you know what, this is something I need to embrace. This is a path I want, and other people may not understand it, may not get it. I may feel this obligation to have a regular 9-to-5 job. I may feel like that's what productivity is. That's what being a useful member of society is, just as an example. And or this could be, a type of relationship where this is your expectation here, and then putting that expectation down. You took that on yourself. You allowed, right? Because boundaries are primarily about our relationship with ourselves and how well we can trust ourselves to protect ourselves. So we're putting up boundaries with other people and reestablishing our relationship with ourselves and what we want, even if other people don't understand it, don't get it, and think it's really weird. So this is part of, I think, making sure that you're not stuck in a situation, is making sure that you're putting down these other expectations. And then where you're going, the High Priestess. I love this card in this position. It's possibly my favorite position for this card to show up in. Again, we have sort of this backstage of life idea, right? We have these curtains opening, and this is like all these wheels going. Who knows? There's order in the chaos, right? It feels like chaos to us, but there is some order to it. Behind the curtain. But this again is a lot like this, seeing behind the curtain of life. But the High Priestess tells me that you're not supposed to know. She doesn't want you to know where you're going for a reason, because you have to make a bunch of choices and decisions in order to get you there, right? And she doesn't want, it's more important how you get there, and the choices and the decisions you make and how you get there are more important than the destination. So she wants you, she's saying, the High Priestess to me is the tarot, and the tarot is saying, I'm not telling you where you're going. It's not going to be in your best interest to know, but you have a bunch of decisions before you that you need to make, and then this determines where you're going, as is the norm. But also that decision-making process is more important than the destination. So that's what the High Priestess is here to tell us, is that decision-making process, how we decide, what you decide, following your heart, getting in touch with your intuition, making all these decisions, creating these good boundaries. It's all actually part of where you want to go. And it's coming in under this Hanged Man energy. So I'm going to say that's following your intuition, allowing that you're not going to be able to see where you're going. All of that is part of how you make sure you're moving forward, is almost not making decisions, not having the destination and then reverse engineering your decisions to get to the place. That's what this card is here telling me in this position. It wants you to avoid. It wants you to avoid having a destination in mind and then making a bunch of decisions to create that destination. It wants you to make the decisions based on your intuition, based on what's right for you, what's best for you, not what you've been told, but what's best for you. And then that creates the destination, or that is part of your destination, is having had that history of not seeing where you're going and that history of making decisions based on where you're at today. Okay. And then we have, oh, I love this one. Harvest Mother watches over me. The inner world offers powerful healing energy, creating space to receive it with love, patience, acceptance, and willingness to hear, feel, and honor all messages from our inner world with wisdom. This allows this inner medicine to work its healing magic. Even if it seems unfathomable at an intellectual level, the inner world knows how to restore and heal every aspect of the soul. We just need to invite and allow it. So I see that really with this High Priestess here, this mothering energy of the inner world knows how to restore and heal every aspect of the soul. And there is some healing that needs to be done here. This is a very healing card, creating these boundaries in this relationship with yourself and your own intuition and your own very unique path. All right, Aquarius, I hope that that was helpful for you. Thank you so much for your likes, subscribes, and comments, and I hope you have a great week.